love when two dog trainers can come together and not talk shit about each other. Isn't that an amazing thing?
That's an amazing thing right now because of the world that we live in, isn't it? Unfortunately, but so that the venue is it's going to be based in Edinburgh, Scotland, which is the east coast of Scotland, and for those of you not in the UK or not in Scotland, and it's going to be in a what's it going to be in a riding arena. So we're using
Mm-hmm.
on a country estate, and it's a regular for us. We do classes and we've ran many seminars there. So it's going to be held in a riding arena and on the country estate grounds. So there's inside arenas, outside arenas. So that's where we're going to be holding it.
And for now, we're keeping the location secret squirrel because there's some crazy people out there.
Yeah,
Though I might want to make it public just so we can have that much more fun when the crazy positive only dog trainers show up. I can choke them out live on camera. It'll be great. So if that's something you guys want to see, we're actually selling virtual tickets. So even if you're not in and around Scotland, you can't make it there, you can get there virtually. We're going to have some working spots, but again, those are going to be limited. That's going to be where we're actually getting hands-on, me with you and your dog solving all your issues. And then, of course, there'll be some spectator spots for those who maybe don't want to travel with a dog or just want to come there to learn. So there'll be plenty of those spectator spots. We even have a few VIP spots, and that's going to be really reserved for anyone that wants to sit down with me and Roddy and talk about like what it takes to become a professional dog trainer, how to improve your business. Really anything goes in the VIP thing, but and it's going to be a really beautiful evening. It's going to be private, very small event where we talk over dinner, have some drinks, and just talk everything there is dog training and business related. So really, anyways, there's all these different ways that you can join the seminar, and really excited to be putting it on again, July 11th, 12th, 13th, what is that, a Friday, Saturday, Sunday? I don't even know. I have to look at the calendar.
Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then there's going to be also on the Sunday what we generally do. I guess we'll give a little bit of about our backgrounds in a minute, but the what we generally do at the end of a seminar, the last days generally say like a half day, finish maybe lunchtime, and then we have a break for about an hour, and then we do a pack walk. Something that we regularly do over in Scotland here at BPAT Leader, we have done now for 15 years, is we do pack walks. So at the end of the seminar, in fact, we did one this morning. If you scroll down our page on BPAT Leader, we did one this morning on a beach, and that allows people to come together relatively cheaply, come and socialize their dogs in a controlled way, in a non-judgmental way. If your dog's got issues, doesn't matter. That's what you're there for. And also to ask questions and get them answered and to help. So at the end of the seminar, generally about an hour later, we'll put that up as a separate event. There'll also be the pack walk. So those that maybe can't attend the seminar but would like to, for whatever reason, they can attend the pack walk as well, and they can ask ourselves and of course ask Garrett questions. And yeah, it's just a great place for people to be able to come and test and put into practice what they're getting taught, real life situations, which is what we do. Obviously, is we're not all about management and avoidance. We're all about creating real life situations. So
Perfect.
at the end of the pack walk, that'll be good. But yeah, Friday to Sunday.
Killer. So like you heard there from Roddy, there's so many ways that you can participate, again, from anything from virtual to bringing your dog all the way up to just if you want to come on the final day and just do a pack walk, really no stress involved there. And meet us and hang out with us and meet other like-minded dog owners from all over the globe, really. It's going to be a very special event. We're going to film the entire thing, and we'll make that available afterwards as well for anyone, again, who can't make it. We were going to show you the raw, unedited training that happens. So nothing more real than like live dog training. There's no second takes or cuts or editing. And so definitely requires our full focus and attention, and can't really make mistakes. Otherwise, people get hurt, people get bit, dogs get hurt. So got to be on our P's and Q's. But you know what? I didn't even think of this. There's maybe folks from my channel who don't know who you are, and vice versa. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your all's background, experience? Who are you, Roddy? Who the hell are you? Who's the Scottish guy on my screen?
That's that is a regular question I ask myself, or Louise will ask me. But BPAT Leader, it's great. First of all, if you're not, just to plug us, if you aren't, go over to our BPAT Leader page on Facebook or Instagram or our YouTube channel. Help us out and get on there and follow and subscribe. We train pretty much the same way as yourself. BPAT Leader's been going since about 2007. Dealt with about 20,000 dogs across the world, and everything from bringing up a puppy all the way through to rehabilitating fighting dogs, to which we had ourselves fighting dogs that were a big part of our brand a few years ago until they passed away. Actually, they were great rehabilitators of other dogs. Louise joined really about 5 years ago. She had her own established dog training business and has now joined in with us to really many hands make light work. So we both have the same passion and venture. So joining, and she actually brings a lot better, great ideas, to help establish, create the business more, and more stuff like that's going to be happening this year. But we basically do pet dog stuff. We're trying to really focus on creating a happy dog where people can have a family dog, a pet dog, a social dog, but can also be a guard dog. We'll do some protection training as well. We're not affiliated with any IPOs or Schutzhund or anything like that. We're not. But we do our own level. We have our own protection dog, and we do that. We run classes, we run boarding trains, we run nutrition programs. We run mainly one-to-one sessions, whether those one-to-one sessions are virtual. We've got clients all over the world. And then we do pack walks and pack hikes as well. Something that's really big over here is in Scotland, is what we're famous for is our mountains. Our mountains aren't as big as your mountains, but they're beautiful. And so one of the things that we do every month is pack hikes as well. And the pack hikes allow us to, for a longer period of time, get dogs into a more balanced state. We're all about exercise, discipline, and affection, really, and that's kind of the way that we're trying to push our brand. And we've done many seminars over the years, and worked with many trainers across the world, many from the States. And it's great that we're able to affiliate with yourself and join together and combine and help owners across the whole world. You've got a far bigger audience, which is wonderful. And that, if that's going to help people in the UK in particular to gain more knowledge and actually, be able to have a better relationship with their dog, then that's what we're all about. There's so much misinformation nowadays about dog training and tools, and a lot of the trolling, that we always have, hence us having the actual venue hidden right now. A lot of the trolling for you guys as well is from the UK. Generally, you find UK and Australia. There's a lot of trolling from there. I mean, you have your fair share of whack jobs as well, but we have loads of them, and we've went through that spell where we had a lot of trolling. We don't really get that now. Our answer is always just occasionally. yeah, occasionally, but you just block, delete, move on with your life. Don't feed the trolls. So that's that in a long-winded way. That's our business. One-to-one sessions, really trying to make good family pet dogs from all different backgrounds. Louise has done a lot in, I'm kind of talking over you, but she's done a lot in rescue, and we do a lot with vets. We are expert witnesses in court. Any way we can help a dog, we're gonna do it. That's really what we're all about, is bettering your relationship and keeping dogs in their homes, because there's a pandemic now of this purely positive that really, the answer is always the dog's getting put down or medicated or rehomed. And rehomed, let's be honest, just means getting put down, because if the dog's got a behavioural issue, they ain't getting rehomed. So that's our drive, that's our focus, and that's one of the reasons why we bring someone like yourself over to the UK, to Scotland, to really try and just spread the knowledge and give people the knowledge, because there's so much ignorance to, in particular, certain tools. That's the biggie, isn't it, really? They're not even necessarily interested in results. They're interested in, what tool you're using, and we want to try and really change that mindset. And I think it's changing a lot. So that's kind of our focus, is any way we can, we want to help better the dog.
Sounds great, man.
What about you? For my clients, most of our clients will know you, but are you wanting to just give a brief on your background?
Yeah, so for those who don't know, I grew up in a police canine training household, meaning my father was a police canine handler since before I was born. So literally grew up riding on their backs. They were just our house dogs, pet dogs. And I just grew up going to police canine competitions and seminars and helping out. And then I started doing ride-alongs with my father, and I saw my first police dog bite, a real one, at 16, and I was hooked. So I was basically destined to become a police canine handler. That's all I ever wanted to do. And I got to do that, and I got to become a police canine supervisor, and really that's where I cut my teeth, learning how to actually train dogs for real, meaning we cannot afford to have dogs fail us on the street. If a dog fails us on the street, someone's getting hurt or worse. And so I bring that kind of no fluff, no BS attitude to pet dog training, meaning a lot of people make dog trainers, owners make a shit ton of excuses as to why their dog is an absolute shithead, like not listening. And they're like, well, it's just the breed. It's just the age. It's just it's like, no, that dog is acting that way because you're allowing it. And so we just need to hold it to a higher standard. We say that the dog's not going to rise to this high standard. They're going to always fall to the lowest level that you allow. And so we just raise the standard. The dogs will come along with it. They're actually every dog on the planet is capable of doing so much more and being service dog level qualified in terms of their obedience and their manners and their behaviors. And, because I always say this, police dogs don't know that they're police dogs. And pet dogs don't know that they're not police dogs. So it's not like there's something special in the way they're raised or their genetics that allow them to, excel. There's actually police dogs that are horribly behaved. You know why? Because the handlers and the trainers don't know any better. So, and then there's some pet dogs. We got some in our DIY canine program that will run circles around some of the best trained police dogs on the planet. And they're just little pet dogs. And so I'm just tired of the excuses. I'm definitely tired of the BS of this positive only BS scam that people are unfortunately fed and believe until they after months and months and years of it not working, realize there's got to be a better way. And then that's where we come in, right? You and we come in and we're like, there is a better way. Allow us to show you how. It doesn't take 3 years to get your dog to walk perfect on a leash. It takes 5 or 10 minutes. Let's get that fixed. Let's move on to some other things. Let's enjoy our dogs, because like you said, absolute pandemic right now happening with dogs in shelters. All the shelters are overflowing. And I don't know if it's going on in the UK as well as it is here, but everybody and their mom is now, no longer are they buying like the Labrador and the Golden Retriever. Everybody and their mom is buying a Corso. Malinois. Borbal. I was reading one comment. What are you guys getting over there?
We also don't have as many laws and kind of regulations as you guys in a lot of locations in the States. We have off-lead dogs everywhere. So there isn't really any leash laws as far as we're aware in the UK. So with what you're saying about the purely positive training ideology and the excuses, I think that's almost like times by a million in the UK, because we also don't really have those leash laws and regulations, and we kind of just have dogs running wild. So there's places everywhere that are just renowned for having, just pandemonium wherever you go, beaches.
And what breeds do you think are the fashionable things we over here? Probably
Corsos,
Malinois, the Mals, and the bully, any kind of bully type. And then you're right, you're Borbal. It's funny you were just saying there, sorry, because I'll forget, but it's like I always say to clients about this purely positive ideology or training, which is, I just call it lower your expectations training. It's lower your expectations. You go, well, I want my dog off leash. I want my dog to listen to me. I want my dog to be social. Yeah, let's just lower your expectations and, go over here. And people don't realize that. So we kind of have the same drive, the same passion, but what you guys have in the States is the same. It's the same over here. If in some ways, probably, if not worse, just because in terms of the number of people that, you have 10 times the number of people as we do have over here in the UK.
Yeah. But I do think, the political landscape over there is maybe 10 times worse. So
yes.
We have little pockets here and there, but we still enjoy a lot of freedoms that, I don't want to make this a political discussion, but I do know the UK is experiencing its fair share of BS.
Yeah,
and it permeates, unfortunately, into dog ownership.
Yeah, you almost pulled me into politics there, where we both agree. But I'm not going to get in. we're all probably on the same side, but we're not gonna say anything there. That's another That's another live that we're gonna do.
That's another live for another day. Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of us, and I guess yourself. You've got a few different things that you do though, right? You not only you have some online stuff and things as well. You've got a million things you do.
Man, we do everything. Yeah, we do really premium level board and train programs between myself. I have a bunch of certified trainers across the country. We also have our online courses at DIY Canine where we show other people how to train their dogs to a very high level so that they can avoid the kind of stress, confusion, and the lack of guarantee that's often out there with a lot of board and train programs, meaning there's a lot of trainers out there, and I don't know how it is in the UK, but it's a completely and wholly unregulated industry here, meaning like you can wake up this morning and just put on your little dog trainer hat and be like, I'm a dog trainer. And start training dogs, start making money. It doesn't mean you're good. And so we find out actually that well over 66% of the owners that come to us for either our board and train or our online programs have already wasted thousands of dollars bouncing from 1, 2, 3 multiple trainers, and their dog is better off, worse off than when they even started. And so anyhow, we are the one-stop shop. The final stop.
Same.
Like it should be your first stop, but that's fine if we end up being your final stop because we're going to get the job done.
Yeah.
No excuses, no fluff, no BS, and just real raw advice that actually works because we just cannot afford to have these dogs eating up their owners, dragging people down the street, not recalling. It's just there's no more excuse for it. So we try to be the voice of reason in a very, crowded and boisterous and whatever situation where everyone has their opinion.
Yeah, we're the same because ours is actually our stats that we most recently looked at with regards to training before coming to us and spending thousands and things. And in the UK generally they don't spend as much money in training as they do in the States, but ours is over 95% have been to trainers, and they're kind of we're considered as the last resort, until they realize, and then they'll actually, you should be the first resort. And people are starting to realize that more. You do see a change in the trend. One of the big things just that we did in Scotland is they tried to ban remote collars a number of times. Just picked on that tool. And so in 2018, I started the Association of Balanced Dog Trainers. And that was the main reason remote collars didn't get banned. They're not banned in the UK with the exception of Wales. And they're trying to repeal that ban at the moment. Wales, in the UK, for anybody in the States, you've got Scotland and England, you've got Wales, and then you've got Northern Ireland. All 4 different countries and have their own laws, if you like. And, 4 different states, if you like, but they're governed under the Great Britain and the United Kingdom. So in Wales, remote collars are banned. And there's just this big push to try and ban it here. They've made a few attempts, and it just keeps getting knocked out of the park because there's no evidence for it. It's just there's far too many now as well. People that are savvy and using remote collars, just for example, remote collars or slip leads or prongs or what these so-called controversial tools. So people are more wise to it. But that was a big thing over here that we did. We sat with it. We're stakeholders with the Scottish government, and we so anything to do with Scottish animal welfare, there's actually a committee that we're able to assist that. So that's been a big thing over here for remote collars still to be good. So yeah, that allows us to do these seminars, and be able to have our toolbox as much as we want. That's the whole goal. Is the more tools you have in your toolbox, the better you can help, because every dog's got their own recipe, right? And to be able to limit your toolbox is just crazy.
Yeah, man. We still learn every day here, man. Always open to learning new things. Well, anyways, for those who are just joining us, again, it's just a reminder. We are putting on a seminar graciously hosted by Mr. Roddy Kirk over at BPAC Leader. We're going to be in Edinburgh, Scotland, July 11th, 12th, 13th. If you're interested, check out our website at DIYcanine.com. They'll be pretty prominent on the homepage there, up in the menu bar. the link to the Scotland seminar. You can see all the options that are available for you to participate. Anything from a virtual joining to a working spot, spectator spot, VIP spot, you name it, and the pack walk at the end. For that, you got to reach out to Roddy direct, but we're going to make ourselves available. The information to contact either myself or Roddy is right there on the page. For those who do join, we're going to give you all the information you need, all the hotel stuff, where we're going to be training, anything you might need to bring, the full itinerary, and we're also going to create a private WhatsApp group so that we can communicate in the weeks and months leading up to it, kind of get to know each other better and better understand, you know, what issues you might be having with your dog so that we can prepare for that. So really, I don't think there's any limit on what you want to bring. So if you're a professional dog trainer, bring one of your clients' dogs. If you're a brand new puppy owner, bring the puppies. We love working with puppies. Reactive dog, whatever, bring it all, and guaranteed to help you really, really improve your dog's behavior, but probably better said, like, you understanding what you need to do going forward to continue to not just maintain it, but improve that behavior going forward. So really excited for that seminar. We're probably going to end this live really soon and bump over to Facebook and kind of do the whole thing again. So, but maybe before we go, we can answer a few questions. I see someone here saying their dog is reactive. A lot of dogs are reactive, and sometimes it's actually a pretty simple fix. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it takes a lot of work and a lifetime of management. I'm looking back to see what kind of questions we might have.
Isn't it interesting as well, Garrett, when people are saying that when we speak to clients, what we're doing is we're going on their assessment of what their issue is with their dog. So sometimes people say, oh, my dog's terrified, or it's reactive, or it's this, or it's that.
Or it's aggressive.
Yeah, and then we go, and then we'll actually, no, your problem's actually this, or your problem's actually your other dog, or whatever. So, you know, it's just interesting to see that. And just, I guess, why you're finding questions there, just to give people the information on the seminars, you've probably already covered, but just if they've joined now, is it's very relaxed. In the UK, in particular Scotland, and the way we run seminars, it's very relaxed, it's very informal. There's obviously structure to it and a formality to it, but it's a safe space where you can come and go over any issue that you have, like you've just said, with your dog, and have your questions answered, all the way to this VIP dinner, for example, that we're offering, that you can even help grow your own business and really find the secrets to success in that, especially from yourself, Garrett. And that'll be really exciting, all the way to just doing pat walks and being able to just, you know, socialize and meet and chat. But yeah, even having this private WhatsApp group and stuff as well is going to be great for people, that they can have that personal touch before they've even met you, for example, and be able to chat back and forth. It's just going to build people's confidence and make them feel successful. It's all about making them feel successful.
Perfect. Well, Debbie has a great question here. Are you just going to address participants' issues, or do you have some sort of syllabus? I'll answer that. It's going to be a little bit of both. We're coming in, we're going to teach some theory, some proprietary systems that I've been using, that I've developed, that if you're not familiar with our online courses, you're not going to get anywhere else. And we're going to dive in, real practical demonstrations. I actually love, more than anything, I love teaching dogs, but I actually prefer to teach people to train their own dogs. I find it more enjoyable and just more fulfilling. But the point is, I think sometimes the best way to teach owners how to handle their dogs is actually teach them how to train other humans. So we'll probably be putting e-collars on each other, maybe even put leashes and prong collars, and like, before you go screwing it up on your dog,
especially for Saturday night.
Yeah, after some drinks, we're gonna get lit up in more ways than one, and see who can take the highest level on the e-collar. No, all joking aside, but
it's not wrong.
There will be a rough formal syllabus where we're just going to kind of gloss over some main terms and maybe dive into a little bit more theory, whether we're talking about free shaping, e-collar work, leash pressure. Then we're going to get into solving problems. And it's going to be a lot of back and forth, because a lot of the problems that one person is experiencing is another person's going to be experiencing. And it's going to be very interactive. So whether you're bringing a dog, we're going to fix issues right then and there. But even if you're not bringing a dog as a spectator, I guarantee you're going to walk away learning a ton. And having attended seminars like this and still attend seminars like this, even as a student, sometimes you're going literally for that one or two pieces of, like, what we call the golden nugget that you walk away with. That's just that one theory that you finally understood, that one concept that finally clicks and makes sense, or is brand new, brought to you and you never even considered it before. that's what you're really coming for. And you never know when that golden nugget's going to present itself, and what, not what's a golden nugget to this person. It might be 10 minutes later, it's a different golden nugget for that person. And so that's really where the value is. Just what you're going to walk away with. So really cool question. McDermott said, "Thank you, Garrett. Following you, I was able to train my King Corso into a gentle, beautiful, loving giant." I don't know if it's a King Corso, Cane Corso, probably a new breed out there, but hey, thank you. There was another question, actually, that one of my moderators grabbed. This one's for you, Roddy.
Okay.
Is it better as an owner to learn how to train your own dog, or is it better to go out and get dog training? What do you think's better? A board and train program, one of these group classes, or learning to train your dog yourself? How would you answer that?
Well, that's an important question, because the owner really, what we say is we train owners to be dog trainers effectively with their own dog. Any dog trainer worth their salt should be come into your home, because in a one-to-one session, for example, and get rid of your issues quite quickly and be able to deal with your dog, because that's the trainer. The key dog trainers are those that enable you to be your own trainer with your dog, because we're going to be there for a few hours, or even if you do a board and train for 6 weeks or whatever. The key ingredient is giving the human the knowledge of how to train their own dog. That's the key ingredient. So the key for us is trying to give you the knowledge to train your own dog. A good dog trainer will be able to train your dog. A really good dog trainer will be able to train you to train your dog. And especially when you've got your own relationship with that dog, generally what we find the biggest thing that's missing between owners and dogs is respect. The dog's respecting the owner, because trust is built through affection. They have no problem with that. But respect is built through rules and boundaries, and they struggle to know how to communicate that to the dog. And not necessarily even for the want of trying. They might be trying to discipline, but it doesn't make sense to the dog. So the key thing is building that respect relationship to the human, so they can give it to their own dog. So even if they do a board and train program, that dog might already know everything. It's kind of like when you, for example, you take 1 minute through leash pressure to teach a prong collar, for example, and you go, right, the dog's already understanding that. Now let's give it to the owner and let them learn it, because effectively the dog's learning the piano and you're the piano teacher. But when we're not there, the owner has to be the piano teacher. But the thing is, they're learning at the same time to play the piano. So that's what takes the time, how to communicate with the dog. So I hope that in a roundabout way makes sense. It's really training the human to train the dog, because even if you get a well-trained dog that's already comes out the packet, it's a living being, a living, breathing, sentient being. It's not a robot. So they have to learn how to communicate with the dog properly, and understand energy, body language, touch. They need to understand. And there's some people that can have all the theory, as we know, and they just don't get it. And there's some people that don't know any theory, but they're just good with dogs. Or even other animals like the horses. Louise has got horses, and we see that with others. So our job is to help you understand, effectively become your own trainer to your dog. That be you too?
I agree 100%. I love the how much synergy there is, and even though we're literally countries apart and separated by an ocean, and we have never trained together before, I love hearing the stuff you're saying. So I'm like, man, we have our own version of that. We say at DIY Canine that we are training owner trainers. You have to become an owner trainer. And the same with our board and train programs. Why they're successful, it's not to plug them, but a lot of people are doing these wham bam thank you ma'am board and train programs, a lot of volume, cranking these dogs out. They have the dog for maybe 2, 4, 6 weeks, and then they spend 30 minutes with you.
Yeah.
Like, it takes me 30 minutes just to show you how to use the leash, just to hold it right. We usually are doing multi-hour, multi-day take-homes, because I like to say it this way: we can build you a race car, but if you don't know how to drive it, you're just gonna wrap it around a tree. You're gonna blow the transmission. You're gonna just screw the whole thing up. And Thanos is a great example. That's my personal dog. He's trained to a very high level. If I pass him off to someone who doesn't know how to train dogs, he will ignore that person and walk all over them in about 10, 15, 30 seconds. I mean, honestly, he won't listen to you until you've set yourself up as a leader. He doesn't give two flying Fs. He doesn't care. And so they can, like you said, read that body language and kind of read your aura and go like, you either know what you're doing or you don't know what you're doing. And if you don't know what you're doing, I don't care who trains your dog. I don't care how much money you spend on training. If you don't know how to maintain it, we find dogs will revert in matter of minutes, hours, maybe days if you're lucky. But
that's something we always say. Dogs don't lie. The human tells a story. The dogs tell the truth.
Dogs tell reality.
You can go into somebody's home and they maybe tell you the story of what they're doing with their dog and what work they're doing, but the dog's going to tell you the truth and how much work they're putting in and what they understand and what they don't understand.
Yeah. Good point.
Well
Good
said.
point. Yeah.
Well, so thank you so much for everyone on Instagram. And we're going to be sliding over to Facebook. If you want some more action with Roddy and Luis, then slide over to Facebook. Give us just a minute or two to set that up. Again, we're dog trainers, not tech people. But we're going to continue the conversation there and continue to answer any questions you all have regarding the seminar. Again, DIYcanine.com. Join us. Check out B Pack Leader. Make sure to like, share, subscribe to his stuff because we're going to continue to have conversations like this in the weeks and months building up to the seminar. And really, really hope to see you all there. And guess what? If nothing else, you're going to probably see Garrett wearing a kilt. So that might be worth the price of admission.
And they can learn Scottish. They can learn Scottish by listening to us.
There you go. All right, y'all. Yeah, and happy Easter to everybody. And we'll be signing off, and we'll see you over in Facebook.
Excellent. See you soon.
Awesome.
Bye. Weeks and months building up to the seminar, and really, really.
I was just going to leave it on. It's okay. We're just going to go. You guys on YouTube. Thanks. I hope we're trying to get on as many platforms as possible. So, I hope this is okay, and you can also hear what's being said. In the future, we will have it that you can see everything. We just are still figuring it out, but we wanted to open it up to any of you guys that do follow us on YouTube. So hopefully you're getting something here from us. I'm just going to find it on you. There we go. I'm just waiting for him to go live. We're going to wait for Garrett to go live on Facebook, and then we're going to join it. And hopefully you guys that are listening on YouTube, can someone type, and can you guys hear what Garrett is saying on the phone? Can you guys hear that okay? So at least you can hear it, maybe not see it. So can someone reply and just say whether you... Hi, Graham, the dog walker from Kincardine. How are you? But can you guys hear what Garrett's saying, or can you only really hear us? Just can you give some feedback so that because we've got lots of highs, but if someone's able to let us know. We're just going to wait to go live on here. Good, now it turned into a reel. We're just learning all this tech stuff, so hopefully it all kind of falls together, you know. Look at this guy. He's a poser. He's watching the pigeons on our roof. Nice, that's a good picture.
Hey everybody, we are live and we'll be adding in.
There we go. Look, we've got a whole bunch of new ones. Need to be on Facebook. See if you go, is the laptop got charge in it, babe? There we go, he's on.
Pack leader based over in Scotland. He reached out to me some months ago, and we've been having many conversations about putting on a seminar, first of its kind, over in Scotland. So that's what today's about. Is we're going to talk about our seminar that's upcoming July 11th, 12th, 13th over in Scotland. I will be there. We're thinking about bringing Thanos if you want to meet him, but it's going to be me, Roddy, and folks just like you who want to get their dog trained. So I see you there, B-Pack leader, Mr. Roddy. I'm going to try to get you to join. Here we go. This should work. There we go. Let's see if that works. First time adding someone to a live, so bear with me as we make it happen. As soon as he joins, we will talk to you all about the upcoming seminar, answer any questions you have about the seminar, and honestly, anything dog training related. So it looks like he's be joining us shortly. It says it's adding him. Probably some behind the scenes tech stuff happening.
Yeah.
And by the way, while we're waiting, might as well let us know where everyone's from. Do we have anyone from Scotland here with us right now? And yes, thank you, Chelsea, one of our moderators. If you want to find out more about the seminar, you got to head over to DIYcanine.com. And right at the top menu bar, you're going to see a webpage that we have dedicated to have a few working spots. We're going to have even fewer VIP spots. That's going to be for a private VIP dinner with a really cool swag bag. And we're going to have a private dinner at a really nice restaurant. Me, Roddy, and just a select handful of folks. That's probably better for either a really big fan, but more importantly, someone who's a professional dog trainer, maybe looking to find some tips and tricks on how to improve their business. And we're still trying to add Roddy. Let's try that again. I see him in there. So let me try it this way. See if that works. As soon as he joins, we'll dive in a little deeper and talk more about it. In the meantime, feel free to ask your all's questions. Really excited about this seminar. I've done a ton of police canine training seminars. This will be the first seminar.
There we go.
Your comment there. Some love from Illinois. Thank you. There we are. Roddy's here. Welcome.
Roddy and Louise. I'll bring all the nonsense talk. Louise brings the beauty. We're sorted.
Perfect. Well, look, let's jump in. And anyone that's maybe familiar with American Standard Dog Training but not familiar with BPAC Leader, tell us about Roddy and Louise. Who are you? Who are these crazy Scottish people on my screen?
Yeah. Well, just like we said on Instagram just a minute ago, and people can go and catch that, we have been going since 2007. BPAC Leader's been going since approximately 2007. The whole goal and mission of BPAC Leader was to help better relationship between the owner and the dog. Everything from puppies all the way through to rehabilitating fighting dogs and everything in between. We have really tried our hardest in helping now over 20,000 dogs throughout the world. We run seminars, we do pack walks, we do one-to-one sessions, we do virtual sessions, everything we can to help owners, boarding trains, everything we can to help the owners. So all the way through to getting you guys come over. We also were instrumental just for people in the UK in particular, or Scotland, but also did knock on to England, that in the 2018, the Association of Balanced Dog Trainers was created to stop the ban or potential ban of remote training collars in Scotland. And because of that, the remote collars were not banned. And the people keep trying to push that, but really, we are now a stakeholder with the Scottish Government and the Scottish Animal Welfare Committee. And so that's been instrumental in this country, at least, to stop that we didn't have a ban on the necessary tools. Some we just spoke about on the last live, but is how we as trainers maybe be able to get results in X, Y, and Z time, and that's our job. But our goal is really to train the owners to be able to be their own trainers. And sometimes, or a lot of times, in every situation, in fact, we use tools to bridge that gap. Whether that tool is a clicker, a whistle, a remote collar, food, prong collar, slip lead, crate, everything's a tool. So we try to have as many tools in our toolbox, and we've added tools to that toolbox over the years. Louise joined about 5 years ago from her own dog training business, and come together to do that. And it's good because she helps me to not just be an old fart and actually help the business have a more modern approach as well, and try and help as many people as possible. All the way to now, we're having this seminar. It took us a wee minute to try and get in. We tried to get in to you into this live, so we might have missed a little bit of it, but I don't know what you've said already about the seminar.
Well, I just told them, basically what it is, that there's a few ways to attend.
Yeah.
You didn't miss much. You only missed about the first minute or two. And again, for those who are just joining us, that's exactly what we're here to talk about. We got Roddy and Louise from Scotland. We're talking about Edinburgh, Scotland, which is super cool. My great-grandma's from over there, so I have some Scottish heritage. I want to touch into my roots.
Coming home.
And
coming
we're going
home.
to be doing... Yeah, man, we'll bring it on home.
Okay.
But it's going to be my first time
Yeah.
traveling over to Scotland,
Yeah.
and I'll be bringing my whole team. We're going to be filming the whole event. But really, the purpose of it is to kind of bridge the gap. Not that there's even a really big gap between, I think, your training style and ours, but maybe bring in a slightly different perspective, and really I love nothing more than to share my knowledge with anyone that wants to hear it. Like I said before, I love training dogs, but I actually love more than anything training people how to train dogs. And so we'll be bringing that over. 3-day seminar, 15 working spots. Bring any and every type of dog. If you're a professional dog trainer, bring your personal dog, bring a client's dog. If you're just a regular everyday folk that has a dog that's maybe pulling you on the leash or being reactive or not listening to you, or it's a brand new puppy, literally anything, bring it. We cannot wait to help you. And then we have those spectator spots, which is where you're going to learn hands-on, in person, what it takes to become a professional dog trainer, like behind the scenes. No editing, no camera magic. You're going to be right there watching how we do it. And if mistakes happen, which I'm sure mistakes will, it's, hey, how do you pivot on the fly? That, by the way, I'm going to really switch gears here. That's why I think dog trainers are going to be around for a long time, and we're not going to be replaced anytime soon by AI, because, man, I just don't think, I think dog training is a lot more of an art. It's definitely a science, but there's definitely an art to it. And I just don't think robots or computers are ready to kind of be flexible and in the moment. And all that dog training is all about what you do in the moment, and this really give and take between the handler and the dog. And so really looking forward to sharing that with you all live. And as we mentioned before, a few ways to join. We're going to have virtual options available, so anywhere in the world you can join us. You can go back, you can watch the replay, you can be there live with us. We will be engaging with the virtual audience. We're going to have spectator spots. We're going to have very limited working spots, and then even more limited, just a handful of VIP seats. And that's going to be for after the training. We're going to go to a really nice restaurant, sit down, intimate setting, have some drinks, have some food, and talk about anything you want to talk about, whether it's dog training, or if you're trying to become a professional dog trainer, want to improve your business, make some more money. We're going to talk about that. Literally anything is on the table. So, and if nothing else, like I said before, you might catch me in a kilt. So if you want to see that,
and the spots.
If you want to drink beers with us and wear a skirt,
beers
then,
and
Just have a
whiskey.
good time.
Whiskey, yeah, it'll be very relaxed. We'll be having a good time. We kind of go out afterwards and make it. A lot of people, they spend this money and they treat it almost like their holiday for the year, and they come and they we'll give you the information, all the information for local Airbnbs and hotels and all these things close to the venue. We'll provide all that information, and we make it just like a little community with us. There'll be the WhatsApp group, a private WhatsApp group, to be able to answer any questions and help you. So it's in Edinburgh, Scotland. I think in the States you're like Edinburgh, but it's not.
That's
it's
how we
not
say it,
Edinburgh
yes.
and Glasgow. It's Edinburgh and Glasgow. So you'll get to learn.
I'll try my best.
Yeah, you'll get to add some new languages to your resume.
There was a comment in my school about thick accents.
Oh yeah, thick accents, and but we're actually quite easy to understand compared to other Scottish people. So you'll enjoy that. But it's in Edinburgh, Scotland, and I don't know if Garrett said, but the location will be given to you when you book your spot, so that you can look at the appropriate places to stay. Unfortunately, we have to kind of keep it secret until you have booked your spot, because unfortunately there are a lot of people out there that aren't happy seeing people happy and want and have a certain ideology, and they want to attack that. And so we can. We've done seminars in the past, and we've had to change the location up to 5 times just for one seminar. Yeah, 5 times, because what they would do is they would attack the location, and they would then go, look, we're not having this, we'll just cancel, and we had to pick another location. So we're too long in the tooth. We've done it too long now that we don't do that, and we worked out a good system.
Our location is pretty hardcore, but just to make her life easy.
Yeah, our location's great. We use it. I've used it for a long time, and they're great. But we use it for classes. We do classes as well, and we're right on a country estate. There's also, it's in a riding arena, and there's an indoor and an outdoor part. And in July, those of you that are attending, if you're not in the UK, don't be fooled in thinking it's always going to be nice weather, because if you're coming to Scotland, then you could have all 4 seasons in one day. So we always have to plan to have things indoors as well as outdoors.
But generally speaking, this is a great time to come. Summer in Scotland is the time, right?
Yeah, it's wonderful. And some people, we've already got a few people. We've already got one guy coming and his family coming from California over to the seminar, and they are going to make a little holiday out of it and do the seminar and things, and then go and visit around. And we can also help with that if people are planning on doing that.
Happy to be tour guides.
Yeah, we'll give you guys the local. Yeah, and as you say, all the way to the VIP dinner that will help people build their own business, and that will be for a very limited few. But spots are already getting booked up, so people need to be quick with it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, don't hesitate, guys, because we didn't even release this officially, and we already sold out a few spots. So now that we're making the announcement and making it live right now, it's gonna go quick. So hey, Kim, I see you there, Miss Kim West. So yeah, don't hesitate. You guys are going to want to jump on board. The ones that are going to go quickest probably are going to be the VIP spots and the working spots. And then if you're looking as a virtual spectator, you'll be good there. You'll be good. We're not going to limit that. But really, and we also forgot to mention, whether it's the working spot, spectator spot, there's actually going to be a special thing at the very end, especially for the folks who are local to your area. Tell us about that pack walk on the last day.
Okay, so what we do, one of the things we do regularly here, we've done it for about 15 years here at BPAT Leader. It's actually became a bit of a common thing now. I don't know if it's in the States, but in the UK, where it's a pack walk. But pack walks only work, regardless of the issue of the dog, pack walks only work if the people that are there follow the same ideology of training, of a balanced approach. Or because there's a lot of breed specific pack walks and things like that. But if they're all singing from different hymn sheets, it's just organized chaos. And you don't get that at a pack walk here at BPAT Leader. So one of the things that we offer, and in fact, if you haven't already, please go on BPAT Leader Canine Rehabilitation on Instagram or Facebook or our YouTube channel, and subscribe or follow there. That would be wonderful. If you are already, if you scroll down the page, you'll see a lot of our regular, one even this morning on a beach, are pack walks. So the pack walk allows people on the last day, say we finish about lunchtime, and then about an hour or so later we go to a great venue. We're probably going to pick a venue that's maybe even got a castle or something like that, and
cool.
and then we'll show you all that sort of stuff, and then it allows people to come for a very small fee, really, to come. And if they weren't able to attend the seminar for whatever reason, there's many reasons people can't, and if they can't, then they could come to the pack walk. It's about 90 minutes, and it allows us to go and socialize in a controlled way, in a non-judgmental way if your dog has issues, and ask us questions, Louise and I, Garrett, to be able to see that. And it sounds silly, but even to get photos and just to have a discussion, and it's very relaxed. And it allows people to plant that seed. Maybe you said on the last live about people just trying to get that golden nugget, and sometimes even if people, I don't know, couldn't afford to come, they maybe get that little golden nugget, that seed planted that's going to help them in their future going forward. That then even just an online program or a virtual session or something, if they're far away, can assist them. So the Pat Walk allows people to come along and socialize. We do a bit of a walk together in a controlled way, and we also will answer questions and do a little bit of training when we're in that, depending on the number. So it allows people to get. We're both all about real world training, not management and avoidance, and the Pat Walks allow you to do that.
Awesome. So, like, as you guys heard from Roddy, there's so many different ways that you guys can participate. I'm super excited. Like I said, first time I'll be doing it. Really experienced with police canine training. Pretty good at pet dog training. This will be the first time I'm actually doing a live pet dog training seminar. So really looking forward to it. Super excited. I love nothing more than getting in front of an audience and really just hammering away and giving out as much information as possible. So I think we had a question here. Someone wants to know if you can train my Chihuahua. She's a devil dog.
Come
Well,
to
yes.
the seminar.
Come to the
Regular
seminar. There you go.
Chihuahuas to a seminar. I think we charge half price for Chihuahuas because they're so small.
No, double the price for a Chihuahua. Is that what you're saying?
So Nick Harrison had a thing
hi,
here
Nick.
for you all. Pack walks are brilliant. Roddy and Luis are there
Yeah.
for on-the-spot advice and help. The pack walks have really helped my dogs and me over the last 10 years. My dogs loved it today. So there you go. A long-time supporter there. That's incredible. Thank you, Nick, for that.
Glad you enjoyed
And hey, Nick, I hope to see you there, man. I wanna see what this pack walk's all about. We definitely have some folks that do that. It's not something that I do on the regular with a bunch of people. We do our own internal pack walks with the dogs in our program. And I meant to say this on the last one. It's actually a really important piece of advice. We say a walk a day will keep the dog trainer away. If you can learn how to get your dog to walk properly on a leash, man, everything else just seems to fall into place. And I'll say it in reverse. If you can't get your dog to walk nicely on a leash, I know for a fact the rest of your relationship with your dog and their behaviors throughout the rest of the day is just straight garbage. Because if you can't get that walk figured out, you have nothing figured out. So it's actually one of the first things we start with when a dog comes into our board and train program, out of necessity, but also about establishing a good relationship from the get, which is, man, stop pulling me on the leash, man. I got to walk you multiple times a day. I'm not looking to get my arm pulled out of its socket 5 or 6 times a day. It's not going to happen. I need to know that when you come out and we go for a walk, anybody in my family, any of my kennel techs, any of my trainers are going to be able to walk you without fear of doing a face plant and skiing down the driveway. We're not going to do that. So
that kind of ties into a little bit of what we said about the kind of culture in the UK earlier on. Like we've had many clients come to us because their dog is a nightmare on leash. But because we don't have leash laws here, they just let the dog off leash. So it's a really important thing for people to learn here as well. If your dog can't walk on a leash, it shouldn't be off a leash. But unfortunately, because there's no rules, as much as in the States as we have in the UK, we have a big problem with untrained dogs not being on a leash. So,
the my friendlies crowd. Mine's friendly, which means they have no recall. That's what that means.
Yeah.
Well, that's funny. I was going to say, reviews, anybody that's seen some of our stuff on YouTube, we'll do like critiques. A lot of videos do come out of that. And it's always that. It's like some off-leash dog attacking a bicyclist or a horse, just pandemonium. And it's really sad and frustrating to see. And mind you, it's not isolated just to the UK. We have a bunch of jackass owners over here in America as well. But just it's no more excuses, y'all. Actually, there's this funny video going around. We're going to do a I don't know if you've seen it yet, Roddy. And not to be gross, but there's a diddler out there. Have you seen the diddler?
Is this the one with the German Shepherd and he's getting his bum poked?
Yeah. So for those who haven't watched it yet,
you know what? I feel a
little
bit bad for the guy because he made the
he was
most
having a good
effort
time
out of everybody there, and he's the person that he's just getting the piss taken out.
Well,
of
it just shows you that how people just don't. The first thing people should know, regardless of breed your dog, you need to know how to spot up a fight.
Yeah.
And it's just the ignorance is just unbelievable.
Nacho,
we have Nacho. People want to say hi to Nacho. There's our Nacho.
Oh, there he is. What a stud.
Hey boy. Yeah. So that's crazy
video. This video, they're either in a dog park or some kind of park. There's definitely a handful of dogs running around off leash, and there's a German Shepherd that's absolutely going to town, destroying some smaller dog.
Yeah.
And
it's in the UK.
I don't even know who the owner is, or if
it's
they're
in
even
London.
there. But
I wasn't sure if the owner was the guy that ran in that looked like he was carrying a bottle of beer in one hand and he grabbed the dog with the other hand.
Yeah,
so that was maybe the initial issue.
Pouring stuff. Yeah.
So this is over in the UK.
It's in London, yeah.
Oh man.
Apparently the little dog was okay. So.
Yeah, but it's just crazy. Yeah.
Well, they really, several grown men are trying to get this pretty good full-size German Shepherd, probably 75, 80 pounds off this little dog. It's going to town, and some guy's pouring water, which was completely ineffective, and it's just sad to watch. And then someone comes over, the diddler, and seriously, more power to him. At least he got involved. But he went over there, and I don't know if he licked his finger first or not, but he got in there and was diddling.
He was getting the jelly on.
German
But
Shepherd.
it would be interesting to know how much force-free there was there, or purely positive training, or force-free to be able to stop that attack. I don't know. Like, that's the magic
He could have
sauce,
saved
right?
his finger if he just threw
The
some
diddle.
treats on the floor.
If
Yeah,
he had
when in
been
doubt, y'all
force-free,
diddle.
he would have been able to stop
It's
it.
funny though. So at first the diddling doesn't work. Then he goes back in, and then it does. I don't honestly know if it did anything.
No.
Maybe it was just timing.
Yeah.
But the dog does let go. But there was a second video that I just found, which is like a part 2.
Yeah.
The dog re-engages with either the same dog or another dog and goes right back to it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's funny, but it's also really sad too.
Yeah. People should know
but
how
yeah,
to choke a dog
guys,
out. It's mental.
Yeah, doing that, it's like an old wives'
Kinda
tale. Like, will it work? Yeah, I'm sure it'll work. But there's definitely more effective ways to get your dog to let go of another dog should there be an on or off leash encounter. And for those who are wondering what that is, it's one and only way. You have to use either a leash or a collar or your bare freaking hands, and you have to choke the dog off. You have to turn off the oxygen. It's the only way. But anyways, this is a story for another day.
Yeah.
And I hope that guy washed his hands soon after.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's any questions here.
I saw him sniff his finger after. That's the question that I'm wondering.
Yeah. We got Miss Kim West here saying, my Dane would be a nightmare if it wasn't for Garrett's expertise. I couldn't imagine him off leash yet. Well, let's make it happen. We can have Great Danes off leash. No more breed excuses. I don't know if you get a lot of that over there, but it's like, yeah, but it's a Great Dane. Yeah, but it's a Husky. Yeah, but it's a Rottweiler. Will the training work? What do you have to say about this conversation of like, yeah, but it's such and such a breed.
Yeah.
Sighthounds, Huskies,
and beagles and all that, blaming the breed, it just shows people they don't have the knowledge of, but it's because a lot of these people are also linked to either breeders giving them the wrong information, or they're in different chat rooms that are breed specific, and they limit their dog to the breed. They limit and there's a lot of, even political analogies that we could give there, but you limit your dog to your breed rather than seeing it as a dog before a breed. Kind of like the whole Cesar Milan animal dog breed name. And people limit the breed, and it's just really, really sad to see. That is also why the seminars are so important, because people look at a seminar and they might go, wow, that's so expensive. And you're like, you're getting 3 days worth of knowledge. And if you've got your own dog, they are practical on your own dog. And if not, you're working on somebody else's dog for really not a lot of money in the whole scheme of things. And the price it would cost for a session or something like that, you're now getting 24 hours full of being able to be able to work your dog. So anybody that thinks that it's expensive to come to a seminar, you get what you pay for, and the seminars are really cheap.
Cheryl's just said 2 off-lead Huskies in Scotland, thanks to Roddy and Louise.
Yeah, there you go. So probably actually Louise and Roddy, because it was probably you first with Cheryl. But therefore, for example, we do a lot with Huskies over here. They're all off leash, all off leash, trained, and so people limit their breed. But you definitely could come along to the seminar and be able to have a good level of off leash control, even within those 3 days. When you get that knowledge, and people are so limited because of, we said in the last live about, you said about 66% of your clients, and it's over 95% in our clients have been to trainers before us and you, and that normally falls under a purely positive ideology or a force-free or something, modern behaviorist, vet, scientific, something along that
bullshit.
ideology.
We call it bullshit over here.
Yeah, and we
Fake
call it
bullshit training.
Yeah, we call it lower your expectations training.
I had a client message the other day, and she was super upset because her dog, who was a lovely family dog, I'll not mention the breed, but had bitten really bad. And she said, I had just by chance had the dog at the vet, and we reached out to 4 behaviorists that they had recommended, and no one responded.
Yeah, which in a way is a good thing.
Yeah, it is, but it seems to be one or the other. Either lack of results or lack of response. Or,
so the only thing positive about that training is their bank account, and that's the reality of it. So the back to your breed thing, is we look past the breed. What your focus is with your breed is fulfill the breed that you have. Fulfill that breed, and then biggest problem people have is they can't control the breed in their dog because they don't know how to fulfill that breed. You want to know what breed your dog is? Get it excited and you'll see the breed. and people don't know how to control the energy level in their dog. Look, we're giving stuff away for free here. We need to hold this on to the seminar, Garrett.
It's true. And you had mentioned, it's not, you said it's 3 days of training, which is going to be really intensive training. But it's not just the 3 days of training. It's literally decades of experience boiled down into 3 days of training. Because you can go train with anyone for 3 days. If they don't know what the hell they're talking about, it's not going to be great. But I'm bringing over 24 years of experience. You guys are bringing decades. You combine all of that, it's going to be well worth the price of admission. In fact, we should charge more. And actually, on that note, if we hadn't mentioned already, we've already sold several tickets. So don't hesitate, y'all, or you're going to miss out. And when we don't want to expand it, we want to keep it small and intimate for a reason, so that you get a lot of value, you get a lot of FaceTime, you get a lot of hands-on time. We don't want to have hundreds and hundreds of people there. It's not going to work.
We don't do the seminars like that. It's the same for us when we run our seminars. It's not. We want to try and make that personal approach. And every dog that's there's a lot of people go to seminars and they do a working spot and they don't get to work their dog. That's not going to happen here. Every dog will be worked, and you want to be able to come away from that feeling successful. That's really what we're all about, is making you feel successful, and you're going to be able to do that at the seminar.
All right, so we have a couple comments. This one's from Donna Bowers. I learned a lot in how to use the e-collar from you, Garrett. Really appreciate those videos you shared with us. Many people do not know how, I'm going to cancel this, do not know how to use them. I agree. And I recall that you do have classes that teach you how to use the e-collar. Yeah, we have, my humble opinion, literally the best e-collar system on the planet. And I'm really proud of it. Cassia says, please, I will pay to see Garrett. I think she meant in a kilt. Let's see. And then Anne Perry Laird. This is the easiest and most effective training. I'm disabled and she was very difficult to walk. She's a pity and was used as a bait dog. She was very aggressive towards other dogs but loves people. Either way, she would pull me down. She also seemed to have a lot of anxiety. Things are great now and we've bonded even more. So that's wonderful. All right, let's keep rolling. We definitely had some more comments. Not a lot of questions, just comments, promoting our type of training, which very appreciative. Always love to hear from our fans and our followers and our customers.
Yeah, because why you're looking for that, that's a good thing for people to remember, is dog training nowadays, or even people that are just looking for help, dog trainings became very emotion-based rather than results-based. And what we're doing is here, we'll give you those results, whereas people, a lot of times when they just go and Google or search, their emotions are attacked to where everything's about, kind, positive, avoidance, management, don't say no, and if you are, you're bad, and it attacks your emotions. But what we're going to give you is results. You're going to get the results, and that's what builds your relationship between you and your dog. It's all about building trust and respect. Generally, respect is what's missing, and that builds loyalty and love. That's what we're going to be doing throughout the whole seminar.
Yeah, and then after we have that figured out, then we can come back to the emotions, which is pride and happiness and fulfillment, and both for you and your dog. We say, nothing's better than having a well-trained dog. It is the best thing that could ever happen. But an untrained dog is an absolute nightmare. Just makes everything in your life stressful, unpredictable, annoying, unreliable. It's just, I don't even know how people do it. We got a dog in our program just today, started, almost 11 months old, not a lick of training. And I'm like, how did you make it this far? I'm like, don't worry, we're going to fix it. But how have you survived these last, 10 months with this dog that zero engagement, horrible leash manners, doesn't know its name? I'm like, God help us. No problem.
I mean, we've kind of had our fair share of those as well, haven't we? We go, a lot of people who've reached out to us are, if their dog is, super reactive or pulling or whatever the issue is, they're trying to do best by their dog, but they're living a life of suffering themselves. We see people all the time who are getting up at 4 a.m. and taking their dog to a secure field, which we have a lot of in the UK, and paying for that, and then taking the dog out a walk at 11:30 at night, just to avoid everything. Just because they need help. So, and it's great when they can turn that around, because it changes their life completely.
We just helped a couple here where I'm located, and I joke about it, and they're just proof of the joke. That's why the joke's funny, because it's true. We say, if you have to conduct a surveillance operation prior to bringing your dog out, like just to see, hey, what dogs are out, who's around the corner, is it safe? Like, that's no way to live, and that's exactly what these folks would do. They lived in an apartment complex with a ton of other dogs, and before they'd bring their dog out, they'd have to like get on walkie-talkies, go out, check the stairwell, check the hallway, make sure the coast was clear, and then like quietly sneak the dog out because the dog was super reactive. And then of course we fixed it. Now the dog's just amazing. And it's we did a lot of work, but again, when we've talked about this, no matter how much work we put in, if we didn't transfer that knowledge to the owners to maintain it, that dog would revert instantly. And luckily, we just heard from them. It's been over a month, and they're just kicking ass and taking names, man. Like, the dog is complete 180. And that, anyways, that's the kind of stuff that we're going to be able to help you with at the seminar. We got a guy, Jack. Now, this is interesting now. Don't get jealous there, Roddy. Jack appears to be from Wales, but he took our perfect walk course. Thank you, Jack. And it took the perfect walk course and a prong collar to get my boreable walking perfect. Unfortunately, e-collars are illegal in Wales. And you know what? That is unfortunate, Jack. Maybe you just need to move. Is it south? Wales is way up north?
Wales, Scotland is the north of Britain, if you like. All the north of Britain is Scotland. Off to the side, on an island, is Ireland. Northern and southern. Right. Northern Ireland is part of Great Britain, and Wales is south. It's if you're looking at the UK, it's off to the left. Wales is south, kind of in the middle of England. So get up to Scotland.
Just migrate north, man. Migrate north to where, really far west, where freedom reigns supreme, and you can come over to the US. We'll make it happen.
That's true.
But hey, attend the seminar, man. Bring your boreable to the seminar, and while you're at the seminar, guess what? We can get a lot of work done with the e-collar.
Buy a bandana.
And buy a bandana. Yeah. We can have a private messages, mate. Private messages, and we can have a chat about that genuinely in Scotland, in the UK, you know, if you want to question.
All right, this might be the last question. Let's see. This is from Jacqueline. I don't know if it's a question or a comment. I have a Cane Corso, 15 months, and needs more training, but it's been difficult to find a good trainer that doesn't only want to take your money. So there's nothing beyond that. I'll repeat it. So 15-month-old Corso, absolutely you need some training with a dog of that age and that size and that potential temperament, and it's been difficult to find a good trainer. That's exactly what me and Roddy are talking about. Is it's so unfortunate, and I hate to talk bad about my own industry, but we just have to speak the truth. Zero qualifications, requirements, certifications, or standards to become a dog trainer. Anybody can literally wake up and call themselves a dog trainer with no real background training or experience. And it's sad, and that's why Roddy said that like 95% of his customers have tried multiple trainers, and those trainers have failed them. But the good news is there are trainers like myself, like Roddy, and there are a bunch of other really well qualified trainers. The problem is, because we're so few and far between, we're usually constantly booked many months out, and the good ones aren't going to be cheap either. That's just how it goes. You usually get what you pay for. We say cheap dog training is not good, and good dog training is not cheap. Right. But there are options. For instance, if you come over to the seminar, on the final day, we're going to have that pack walk. If you're anywhere near Scotland, then you can join up with Roddy and do those pack walks, which appears from all the comments we've been seeing are an absolute life changer and a real easy entry point to kind of start getting, that part covered. And then, of course, we've got our online courses at DIY Canine. We have something for every budget, and guaranteed, 100% guaranteed to work for your dog or your money back.
Yeah,
we offer that
and people have in your
seminar
on your website, I noticed as well, in the seminar, people can even, in the UK, just thinking of, well, if they're coming across the world, but they can pay with PayPal, they can pay with Klarna, they can pay. So there's options that they have an ability as well. If they really feel like, oh, this is out with their budget or something, there's really lots of options to be able to help them, achieve the goal of being able to be at the seminar. Just to put that out there, it's not worth the miss. You really want to try and be there.
Yeah, and we always say that dog training truly is an investment.
Yeah.
Because all it takes is that 15-month-old Corso to bolt out the door, attack your neighbor or their dog or their cat, or get hit by a car or whatever. You're talking about a lawsuit that you won't recover from. You're talking about an injury that's going to cost many, many thousands of dollars, whether it's to a human or another dog or your dog, even just your dog eating something they're not supposed to can set you back several $1,000s or worse, right? Sometimes it's not just the money aspect, it's the emotional aspect of the things that can happen when you have an untrained, unruly dog. Man, we don't even want to have to talk about it, but it is the truth. And dogs getting put in shelters, dogs getting put down. No. So there are options available, and just you're on the right channel. You're listening to and speaking with the right trainers. At least and there is so much free information too available on YouTube. So if you're not already subscribed to Roddy on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, check him out. BPAC Leader, of course, American Standard Dog Training. We got hundreds of free videos. We've had people train their dogs from 0 to hero just taking our free stuff. I think it's better to do the online stuff so that we have great free stuff, but it's a fraction of what we have on our online courses or like in a real seminar or a board and train. So, but there's an option available for everyone is the point. So anyways, any final words, Roddy, before we close it out? And I actually have to go train some dogs, not just talk about it.
I don't know. No, just like, I just can't emphasize the importance of and what you get for your money for doing this. We're probably going to do a few more lives just before the seminar for people, but really it's to give you information on the seminar. And even within this conversation that we've had live, there's actually a lot of snippets that if you're listening properly, if you've got ears to hear, you can take lots of valuable information even from this discussion. So coming to the seminar is just anyone that has been before. It's just whether it's one of yours or ours, or it's just a huge leap forward to help you. And if you can, or you can't, and then for whatever reason, get onto the pack walk, or look at the VIP dinner. Look at your options on Garrett's website.
It's also going to be really fun, and you'll learn something. And also just message us as well for any more information. If people haven't maybe been able to answer a question, you're watching this later, just message us. Yeah, the events will be we've created on BPAC Leader, we've created an event for the seminar. It just kind of takes you into DIYK9.com, but it allows people that maybe just on Facebook and they're not on other platforms, they can see it and get the information and ask questions. And the Pat Walk will be on there as well, so that you can get all the information you want from there. So and if you have any questions, you can give us a shout.
Yep, and at 24/7, you can reach out to me and my team on any platform. You can email us at info@DIYK9.com. Myself, Roddy, Luis, we're all going to make ourselves available to answer any questions you have about the seminar. And again, can't wait to see you guys actually at the seminar. Yeah. And it's going to be a really, really good time. And I'm like super excited, looking forward to it.
Once it
gets killed on. There you go. And if you're over here, like Louise says, well, it'll be Louise that will be introducing you more than me, I must say, is we can get you over good Scottish whiskey, get you introduced to some good pubs. And so we do. There's a lot of it's a relaxed environment to allow you to soak it in like a sponge and really learn. It's not like we've had people before going, oh, is there a test? Is there an exam? And maybe also from your experience in the past, Garrett, with the police dogs and things, there have maybe been those things. Whereas with this is all, you take this, we're here to help you as much as possible and help you achieve success with your dog. So you don't need to feel under pressure in any way. We are the piano teachers teaching you the piano, and you just got to enjoy the journey. And it's okay to make mistakes, and you just keep going.
Yep, and no experience necessary. Yet, if you're a professional dog trainer at the highest level, we want you to come as well. There's going to be something there for everyone. And we just a couple more comments, and I just want to say them because I want to be polite. Miss Chelsea Van Grohl says, saying hello from New York, my fiance and I love you. Well, some love back to you guys. Cassia talking about the Karen Reed trial, and which is awesome. I just can't talk about it. Bull Terrier Rescue of Central Florida. Thanks for the info. You got it. And if you had said there were pub days, I would have signed up already. There is the VIP dinner, so you can sign up for that, which I guarantee you there will be plenty of alcohol and good food and good conversation. So we do have that. So anyways, thank you all. Thank you, Roddy. Thank you, Luis. Thank you for everybody who watched this. If you want to find out more, DIYK9.com, American Standard Dog Training, of course, BPAC Leader. There's going to be plenty of information. Sign up to the sign-up list. We're going to send out more emails about it, but all the information you need is either going to be on the website, or, again, you can reach out to any of us, and we'll answer any questions you have. Thank you guys so much. Really look forward to seeing you guys wearing a kilt, drinking some beer, and training some dogs.
There you go.
All right, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
See you.
Push back out. Right, guys, on YouTube, thank you very much if you've
Thanks,
been watching that. Just if there was any questions. So, oh, thanks. So you can hear everyone fine, doing good. Move through to work with a larger population of dogs in Stirling. Tapped on my toes for some crazy dogs. That's for sure. Good fun.
Stirling.
You know, you're over in Stirling. Oh yeah, you've got the good, a good few. Well, we can't really put good and trainers in the same bracket if you're over in Stirling, with the ones we're thinking of, to be honest. Yeah, the German Shepherd attack. Yeah, well, I'm glad we finally know for sure that method works. Yeah, it's really not. That isn't a method that works. It may be work for you in your personal life, but certainly not with dog fighting. You definitely don't use that method. So thank you all, and we hope to see you all soon.